Hey guys. So we're going to get right into this. Believe it or not, growth in one's life is optional. Change, on the other hand, is inevitable. Now, some of you may be saying, what is she talking about? They are synonymous of each other. Change, growth, it's the same thing. And to a degree, you would be correct. But there are conditions to change and growth being synonymous of one another. And they are only synonymous when they are cohesive. Voluntarily working together, and when they are harmonious, meaning there is no resistance between growth and change. Or they can easily become antonyms. Am I saying that right? And almost compete with one another. So, like I always like to pose these questions, y'all. What are we doing in these moments to assure we are experiencing the richest, most harmonious life outside as well as inside of ourselves? We're going to talk about that on this episode. This is Just Forget About It, episode 27, YDG squared, or you don't grow if you don't go. All right, so change and growth, kind of like Labyrinth from the last episode, episode 26. Check it out if you didn't get a chance to check it out. Is one of those things we all take for granted at some point or another in our lives. It's like, it's inevitable unless you're like perfect. If so, write in the comments, give me the fast track on how to live a gracious life. But I digress. As I was saying, change and growth is one of those things that we all take for granted at some point in our lives. We all like to say or believe that we are welcoming to both, especially growth or change that is the catalyst for growth, right? But we all know that this isn't always the case.
No, baby.
Especially when that change doesn't directly benefit us. Let's just call a spade a spade. We ain't changing if it ain't a direct benefit. I know I've been there before. But let's just keep it honest and say we are not always welcoming to changes and growing through these changes. A new Zoom meeting, requirements for work. I got to have my camera on. I got to participate. Annoying. Like, why? You go to the bank, a convenience that you used to have. I can't think of one right now, that you could make a certain number of deposits or you could take out a certain amount of money a day. That has been decreased significantly. I mean, it's annoying. And we find ourselves saying things like, things have changed so much. I'm not used to this, or it's not like how it used to be. Now I'm here to tell you guys, you good folks, I know you're tired of my epiphanies, but these are truths that the world should examine. Because both of these statements, unfortunately, are forms of resistance to change and growth that, unbeknownst to us, keeps us in a covert, meaning secret, state of nostalgia that in the long run may hinder us. Recognizing changes in our environment is inevitable, but adapting and growing through is the money spot. It's the sweet. It's the sweet spot, if you will. It is this growth that will maximize our lives in ways unthinkable, but very much needed for our greater good. Growth is the catalyst for all that many of us will need to get through changes that feel uncomfortable, that feel fast, or just outright annoying. They're just annoying. They're just annoying. They're stupid. Why do we have to do it? But if we are adapting and growing through those changes, they may not feel as stupid or as fast or as challenging. So the best way and the only thing we can and should control in these changes and growth is the way that we adapt. And we adapt by accepting and releasing expectations. A lot of times, expectations will kill any progress in a developing idea, process, or system. Not that you shouldn't have hopes or even high hopes for situations that call for that kind of concentration outside of leaving it to faith, leaving it to the greater forces of greater good beyond us, right? But to expect, I believe, is the recipe for disaster. Having expectations. Simply because it relies again on something outside of our control. And quite like change and growth, it competes with one's right to adapt, meaning your mind or your brain's ability to have neuroplasticity. That was on an episode, y'all. I want to say, in closing, that it is in these moments of adaptability that we gain the greatest life skills that will sharpen who we are and how we show up in the world. Come on now, y'all. I know y'all want that. I know y'all want to be showing up how y'all see yourselves, right? We have to be adaptable to change to do that. We can't just say, we welcome change, but then when change happens, we complaining about it. That's not being adaptable. Take a deep breath, roll up your sleeves, say a prayer, get your favorite snack, and kim it. Meaning keeping it moving. Now, will it always be easy? No. Will you always adapt willingly? Maybe not. We just talked about that. But is the growth worth all the places you will go? Oh, the places you will go, like Dr. Seuss. Absolutely. So remember, if you don't grow, you don't go. So we must grow through all that we go through to get to the other side. The other side of whatever it is that we want out of life. Whatever that could be for you. Only you can tell. So until next time, JFat. Ow!